Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today we have a re-review of the Gala's F3F. Now, of course, I've re-reviewed the Russian P40 and I've re-reviewed the Chinese H81A2. Why am I re-reviewing a plane that barely got viewed in terms of just overall? Well, I think this is a slept-on plane, and that's why I'm re-reviewing it, to bring some more light to it. This is a plane that a lot of people just sleep on, unfortunately. They just parked it after they got it, never really flew it. And unfortunately, you just don't see many Gala's F3F anymore. You see the standard F3F, but you don't see the normal F or the premium F3F. And I just think this premium's a little slept on, you know? Like, compared to the other starter premiums, I see way more Zhukovskys, Fliegels, and, well, even though Tux Gladiator is a slept on premium, I still see more of those than I do this, and it's just sad, really. That's why I want to bring a bit more light to this plane, because it's still a capable vehicle. But people just ignore it, and I really can't think why. Sure, it's a rank 1 premium. Sure, it's the starter premium for US aircraft now, which used to be the Thatcher's F2A1 Buffalo. But I'm just a bit confused, because this is a very good premium, as we're going to see in this match. Sure, its rewards are low, but it's a rank 1 premium. Sure, it's not the world's best plane out there, but it's a rank 1 plane. And I'm just baffled as to why people sleep on this thing. Because you see a lot of F3, F2s in the tech tree, you just don't see Galas. But anyway, continuing on with the review itself, this aircraft costs 250 Golden Eagles, and if you haven't got it, I highly suggest getting it. This is definitely up there on the starter premiums that are absolutely awesome. Probably the top 3 of my starter premium recommendations would be Zhukovsky Chaika at the top, then the Hawk 3 in China, then Gala's F3F, and then the CR42 in Italy. This is because those planes, to me, I've had a lot more experience in. I tend to enjoy those planes more, and personally speaking, that's my top 4 when it comes to starter premiums. Now, of course, if Japan had the Kai-27 as its starter premium, that would probably take the 3rd position away from Gallows, purely because it's just better than Gallows. But you get my point. So, let's get into the review itself. Starting out with the weaponry, we have a single 50 caliber machine gun mounted in the right hand side with 200 rounds. This is good enough, although it runs out rather quickly, so just be warned about that. Then we have a single Browning machine gun of 7.62 caliber with 500 rounds. Again, not too bad. You don't have any other weaponry in the wings or around the engine cowling anymore. You just have those 2 guns. Now, they're perfectly adequate, but just watch your ammunition counter, because it will go down quick. In terms of your engine, you are actually powered by quite an unusual engine for a biplane, purely because of the size of the actual engine itself. These right cyclones are actually quite big. But in terms of power, we have 850 horsepower on 100% and 951 on WEP. Perfectly capable, really propels this thing along to a good top speed, a great climb rate, a great turn rate, and decent altitude performance for a biplane. Not like you're going to be up at 20,000 feet anytime soon, but you get my point. In terms of additional secondary weaponry, well, you're seeing it under the wings. 2 100-pound bombs. These aren't great, but they're enough for a rank 1 premium. And plus, at the same time, the 50 cal can pop the majority of targets you're going to meet anyway. So it's not like it's a major concern that you only have 100-pound bombs, because you can kill light tanks with these 50 cals, or with the 50 cal. You can take out the lighter stuff with the 7.62 or the 50 cal if you choose to, and the lighter bombs can just be there for any additional help that you need. Of course, they do drop as a pair, so do bear that in mind. But let's take a look at the Gala's F3F's competition, and for rank 1 USA overall, there really isn't much. I mean, there's Thatcher's Buffalo, and there's the B-10B. If I was to personally put it in order, it'd be Buffalo, Gallows, and then beat MB. There really isn't much competition for it. So why don't we see these things more? Why don't we all, whoever watched this video, we all give Galas a chance? Because trust me, you're gonna love this thing. And even though in this battle we have a slight communication issue with my squad mate, Shadow, we still come out on top. And we still win the match. So just remember that for the future, and just remember that Galas can really get in there and start ripping up the competition if it has to. So let's get into the battle and let's take a look at Galas F3F in a battle. Of course, this is still a biplane, and a lot of experienced players may think, well, surely you're a clubber if you fly this sort of plane a lot, and well, it only took me 2 matches to actually get this battle. The first match was just 1 kill and a load of ground targets, and then obviously I got this match, which I decided to use. Not because of it being an ace, but because it shows off just how brutal Galas F3F can really be. So, let's get into it. Taking off from the runway, as you can tell by the matchmaker recently, it's not exactly what you would call a stellar bit of matchmaking. But you get my point. The climb rate of this vehicle is very good. Obviously, Shadow's behind me in his Rasmussen's P36A. I didn't include that in the comparison because you have to buy a pack for that. And it's also not a premium as opposed to this. And as a result, there really isn't much competition for a Galas F3F. However, when it comes to the enemy team, there's quite a few. That being one of them. That is a Kai-44-2 Otsu, or as we call it, the Putin Scoot. There's a reason why. It's the one with the 40 mils, if anyone was curious. And, well, that thing is pretty dang dangerous. It's got the performance of a Kai-44-2, but once it loses the 40 mils, it's got the firepower of a Kai-43. So it's not the most capable with its armament, but its performance, boy vey, that thing is extremely capable. And of course he's getting extremely aggressive, he's coming for me, but I'm easily able to dodge him and reverse him round, simply due to the controllability of Galas F3F. Now of course I do fire a couple of shots his way. I pour a good burst into him, I get a nice shot in, and Shadow is about to get him on fire in just a second and kill the Kai-44. That's probably the most dangerous aircraft on the enemy team dealt with at this stage. There's my first assist of the match. Deciding what to go for next, I spotted a D510, aka Palia's D510. A good premium for a starter player, but not when your engine's dead. He'd been crit earlier, but I decided to put a fire on just to make sure that thing didn't get at the base. That thing's actually quite a good starter premium. It's just limited by its armament. That's kill number 1. We then spotted this very unusual B-18 pilot who thinks it's a dive bomber. I mean, if it's the Swedish one, yes. If it's that one, no. But I like the, shall we say, the attempt, so to speak. Of course, I've still got my bombs on, I've not really needed to drop them, and I don't actually end up dropping them until the end of this match, which is in 2.5 minutes time. But you get my point. I just kept them on because, well, the only dangerous enemy player is ironically a Galas F3F on the enemy team. Because the A5M4 is currently being dealt with, the B-18 has just been shot down, and the rest of the enemy planes I can outturn anyway, so I'm not hugely worried. There's another plane you've seen a review for, and right as I scored that crit, I knew his engine was dead, so I didn't have to worry about him. But I still had to dodge him anyway. Pulling up here is the J11, the Swedish CR42. Get a nice hit on the Galas F3F on the enemy team. And this is where it starts to get a little bit messy. I'm technically in a 3 versus 1 dogfight here, and of course the Galas behind me isn't laden down with bombs. Now I could have just dropped them, but I couldn't be arsed because I wanted to keep them for later in case we got that, but he somehow manages to compress into the ground and crash, not really sure how. Shadow comes in to try and lend a hand, but this is the moment where we're about to have a naughty mid-air collision. Shadow's going in, and unfortunately the communication didn't work out. He smacks into me with his vertical stabilizer, but surprisingly, we both lived the collision. Him barely, but I'm still able to fight. The A5M is crashing there. I wasn't really sure what was up with him. Finish him off for kill number 4. And there goes the J11 for kill number 5. And of course, just to add insult to injury, because I felt like it, I see the J11's corpse and lighten the load. Cool biplanes don't look at explosions. But I hope you enjoyed that review. Of course, as I said, this plane is definitely one to pick up. If you just want something to muck around in, this is definitely a premium for you. It's just so much fun, and I highly suggest it. But anyway, I'm going to get those off. I hope you enjoyed today's review on Gala's F3F, or should I say re-review. And I hope to see more of these in the skies, and if you do pick it up yourself because of my review, do let me know what you think, because I certainly have a lot of fun with it. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one.